Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sonia. Welcome to my podcast, 50 Shades of Beautiful, Conversations in Global Beauty, my very first pilot episode, and I am beyond excited to have you here. Thank you for joining me. I believe we are all beautiful in our own right. I mean, no matter your skin color or body type or culture, race, all of that doesn't matter. I am deeply honored to have you here as part of our launch, where we get to celebrate the journey toward redefining beauty in a global sense. Really, it's a global community of beauty. Now, I'm blessed. I have gotten a chance to see patients that I interact with on a daily basis that are women of diverse backgrounds. They're from all over the world. They are anyone from CEOs to professionals to TV personalities to mothers. I'm just so privileged to be part of their lives. They share their journeys with me, some of the most intimate details with me. And these women are doing so much. There's just not enough time in the day, really, from motherhood to professional careers to home life to just keeping up with social circles and cultural expectations to, the conditioning from our upbringing and our society. I mean, the list is really endless. And there's a lot of pressure from what I hear and what I've experienced, and just expectations on the global face of the woman. There's a sense that we need this permission or some approval from those around us to be who we are. And I get it. I felt it too. But here is a possibility to think about. What if in this confusion, in this chaos of conformity and fitting in, there was actually an opportunity, a light, a little space that we can open where we could redesign our life. We could redefine societal norms. We could set our own standards, live in our own uniqueness and creativity, because we all have it. And we would move away from conformity. We could reclaim our own beauty, not what people tell us or what beauty is or defined for us in TV or magazines. What if we were able to become the CEO of our own company? We get to expose all these beautiful layers, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, all of the yin, all of the yang, all of us. So I want to share my story. We came from very humble beginnings. We were a first generation immigrant family, and we embodied really what it was to work hard and live the American dream. My dad came with $10 in his pocket from India. He didn't have any family here. There's no support. He literally had to fight for his own education. He had to overcome barrier after barrier to leave his small town in India to come to America. This land of opportunity and freedom, where he finally was able to become an engineer. After he went back to India to marry my mom, they came to America to build a better life for us than what they had. They wanted to give that to their children. And there was no sacrifice too big to achieve this. But all that does come at a price. They had to leave me behind in India for the first 4 years of my life, because they truly were just working so hard, working with, whatever jobs came their way. So I was raised by my grandparents for the first 4 years. One of the very first memories that I could ever remember in life was stepping off the plane, actually, that was coming from India to America, in this new country with my new family. I'd have a new home, new school, new friends. And I just remember running from the plane. And at that time, they allowed people right off the runway. So I ran to my dad, who was they're waiting for me with the biggest Hershey chocolate bar that I'd ever seen. I gave him a big hug and ate my chocolate real fast. I was so happy. And that was the moment. I think I developed a lot of things. I developed my love for chocolate for sure. And ultimately, I think this foreshadowed my life, my, entrance to medical school at Penn State in Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is also where I would become the first Indian American to graduate from a dermatology residency there at the Hershey Medical Center. After this, I was the first Indian American global dermatology ambassador for Procter & Gamble, which was really exciting, and that really allowed me to learn a lot of the inner workings of a big company that's well respected. I was then able to go on to co-edit a book on ethnic skin and skin of color, and it just opened up opportunities for more research and just conversations into global beauty. Now, growing up, I did a lot of stage work, especially because I'm tall with my height. I had a lot of opportunities to do fashion shows and pageants and modeling, even did some, Bollywood dance and choreography, some TV. And I just noticed there was a pattern. There was the same pattern that I would see no matter what sector I was in, which was there was not the diversity growing up, which has gotten better over time, but I didn't have a role model of someone who looked like me and made it with the things that I aspired to do. I was lucky if I, went to the store and was able to find makeup foundation that actually matched my skin tone, my skin color, because there were 5 growing up, and now Rihanna's got 50 shades literally for the skin of color, the ethnic skin client now. So this is why I just love doing what I do, and I love mentoring young women achieving their dreams, because I didn't have that. I modeled what I knew, which was really hard work. I valued everything my parents did for us, and I'm so appreciative of their journey because it made it my journey. But I didn't know where to turn to when I dreamt big, and I would dream big a lot. So there wasn't the role models that I was looking for. Everywhere I looked, I realized we were just not represented in modeling and film and TV, even healthcare at that time. No one looked like me. So people, I think, were trying to, if anything, change me to fit into this pretty little box, this stereotype, which, I just wasn't. I had the best of both worlds. I feel so fortunate to have the best of my culture and the Indian heritage, but I also had the wonderful experience of growing up in this land of opportunity. So here I am being Indian and American, and I didn't really fit into either one and either stereotypes, but I blended the two together to really diversify myself into this new category. So later I found the same types of experiences in my own patients, and I found it. What I found really fascinating was I would have a patient who would come to me who was, fair skin, probably had some history of skin cancers and sun damage, and they wanted to be as tan and as dark as possible. Literally, they would tell me to make them look like me. And then I would have the very next patient in the room right next door who is maybe Indian or Asian descent, and they wanted to be fair as possible and lighter skinned as possible because of those cultural norms that are embedded within us. Really, they're these highways that are just embedded in our brains of what we should be, or what we should be doing, or what we should look like. So, I did pretty much everything growing up that I was supposed to do in the right order, the right timeline. I tried to be really that perfectionist in many ways. I later got married, and I've got 2 beautiful, sweet kids, have, beautiful homes and a thriving practice, which we're just so blessed and so fortunate. We built our practice from scratch, and I practice with my husband, who does plastic surgery. And we have a lot of overlap of patients, and we really are helping to transform their lives in many ways because of our work, which was so rewarding and so amazing. And really, that's the juice that makes you feel alive, feel stimulated, and feel energized when you can impact other people's lives. And, we were truly living the American dream, and we received multiple awards for our, world-class care that was so important to us. And we were voted best combined group practice and best global plastic surgery and aesthetic practice, in the world. And we were just, living on top. And we are so blessed for all of these wonderful awards and things that we were able to go through together. Yet I still felt like there was more than what I was experiencing at the time. I was the CEO of my company, but maybe not the CEO of my life. I was in full control of my company and my career where I wanted that to go, but maybe not in such full control of my life. So much like researching what I needed to for medical school, I found myself researching life. I never got this opportunity or this training or these learnings before. So I spent weeks deep diving in personal development and meditation, which took me on multiple trips and even halfway across the world to India, to an ashram. And I really just surrendered and spent some time there and really got a chance to go internal and work internal inside of me, which I never had an opportunity to do that before because life was just so rushed and there was always something else to do. And it was a to-do list rather than, seeing it in a global picture. And just this other world began to open up for me. And that was, my inner world. That was independent from the outer world that I was experiencing. So here is some of my 3 tips that propelled me to changing my life and really becoming Dr. Sonia Inc., I'd say. This time, both personally and professionally, in order for me to seek more balance into my life and total fulfillment in the areas of my life. There's a science of achievement, but there's an art of fulfillment, as Tony Robbins has said before. And that is so true. It does continue to be a work in progress. I don't think we'll ever reach that perfect balance, but it continues to be imperfectly perfect. So I hope these tips will help you too. So these are the ways I became my own CEO, my own superstar, my own self-starter, my own supporter, really my own best friend. And you remember, your life is your company and you are the CEO of it. You are driving it. The question becomes, how are you performing as the CEO of your company? This is an introspective and reflective look at what this really means to you in your life in this moment of time. This is the time for conscious mindfulness, to just stop, to slow things down. It's a very conscious willingness mindset. And this is really where the power lies. This is where we get to choose. So my tip number 1, and the most important, so I'm going to spend a lot more time on this one. Have a vision and mission for your company. Have a vision and mission for your company. Without clarity, there's just no focus. As Tony Robbins has said before, where focus goes, energy flows. And that is so true. How many times do we get distracted through the day? We feel like we've got these objectives we want to establish and the day just leaves us, and you, at the end of the day, you kind of ask yourself, what did I accomplish? I didn't get to the things that I needed to get to, because everyone steals that time and that focus and that energy away from you. So you want to ask yourself, how are your departments doing? Where is your focus going? My ultimate vision was to really seek freedom and control of my own life so I can have the full independence, so that I would have time to do the things that I enjoy and to really create this legacy and a lasting impact for my community and also really for my children. I knew I was role modeling everything that I was doing for my children. And that became my why. That became a powerful enough why for me to be able to start taking action. And I had realized my time, which was the most precious commodity that I have, was given away for so long. It was stolen away for so long. And that's when I needed to take control of that. So understanding your vision of yourself and your purpose is so vital. Your why has to be strong. So, for example, my vision for myself was to become this great dermatologist and do really great work and to help people and to serve people. Well, once I knew my vision, I very quickly knew the steps required to get me there. And it allowed me to really carve out my own path for my own self. So decisions became very easy. Where I would spend my time and even my money would allow me this structure of what I needed to do. Once my why was strong, the how just became very easy. Now, what about the other departments that might go neglected? So you've got health, relationships, finance, spirituality, your growth and your contribution to society. That's another important part people forget about often and miss. So what are the statuses of these departments? How are people falling in to all of these departments? It's really important to focus on each department equally because you can easily neglect other areas. So for me, where career was a priority, I may have neglected, health, which is it's my true wealth. If I don't have health, I really don't have a career. So I know that I did, especially when I was young and, I felt like I could really conquer the world and I was invincible. But, now I've gotten older and the body undergoes a lot of metabolic and hormonal changes, especially I'm sure a lot of people can attest to, especially after having kids. The rules I applied in my 20s no longer apply now in my 40s. What I did then, I can't do now, or else I would be in pretty big trouble with my health, with my weight, with my energy. So, thankfully I've got good genes, thank God for that, but I've had to really put increasingly more effort and more focus in this area, which I neglected before. And we know, again, wherever I put my focus, that's the results I will probably achieve, and I don't want that stolen from me. We often forget about the departments that need to be in full performance at peak level and optimal levels that really leads to what our best life could be. So think about the companies who neglect, for example, their marketing budgets and wonder, well, why didn't their products, succeed? They failed due to lack of consumer awareness. You can't just focus on the aspects of product development and then nothing else. Or companies who might end up going bankrupt because they could not continue to innovate and keep up with the competition and add value to their clients' lives. And they wonder, why did they go bankrupt? Well, the full focus of all of their departments and the full balance was not achieved. Likewise, you cannot neglect your departments. You cannot neglect your health and your spirituality and your relationships and your service to community and expect to have a happy and fulfilling life. It's a trap. The departments in your life exist because of a particular function that belongs, which contributes to your overall life success. If you neglect, for example, your health department, a series of health issues will raise up later, which will affect your overall life. So what departments are you knowingly or maybe unknowingly neglecting? How can you bring harmony back? Another aspect of business is your organizational culture. So just as companies have their own culture, their personality, key values, The same is true for the organizational culture of life, which defines, your personality, your culture, your beliefs, your values, and how you ultimately behave. These influences, are part of your daily thinking, your habits, and they all guide your actions and ultimately lead you to, the success of life. And you want to keep these in check and ensure that there's positive influences that are impacting your life in a very positive way. Be careful of limiting beliefs, which can have truly limiting, narrowed, negative influences on your life. They can truly limit your life and potential growth. Now, what about the processes in your company? Depending on your size of your company, it will have varying complexities in its processes, so that a small company might have fewer processes and might be more simple. A larger conglomerate may have a multitude of structured processes that it runs by. And the processes go through annual reviews, monthly reviews, discussions, weekly updates. So similarly, processes in your life are your daily habits and practices. My life is very routine. I wake up, I get my kids up, we'll get to, maybe sneak a walk or a little bit of some downtime in the morning. I usually get to work right after school, and then I'm jam-packed back to back until I'm with my kids again. And I have time that's set aside for the kids, so I can help them, with their schoolwork and spend some quality time, which is so important and can easily missed. But some of my bad habits were staying up late, maybe binge eating or binge watching, past dinner time, and those are things that catch up with you. So you really want to evaluate, what routines do you have in place? And do you have an exercise schedule? Do you have time that's set aside for, important relationships each week? How are your routines, contributing to your own life? What are maybe some negative habits that you have, or detrimental ones that you should be removing? Awareness is really important here. Are you investing in also your training for your company? Successful companies spend a lot of time hiring consultants and trainers and giving formal training courses to their staff. And these are day-to-day important things that are helpful for the overall structure of a practice. So are you constantly acquiring new knowledge through books and podcasts and websites? Are you taking action and putting yourself in different contexts to learn and grow? Some people may be very knowledgeable in, a certain department, like your career, but they're not very knowledgeable or even clueless when it comes to other areas like relationships and health. So do you know, what does it take to lead your life to success and abundance that you're truly after? Do you know how to keep your health in top condition? Do you know what it takes to be a good partner, a good friend? Are you aware that, what is needed to build a conducive family environment so everyone is optimal and everyone's happy and everyone has that quality time to spend with each other? And I had to remind myself early on, in my career, that career is only one aspect of my life. It is only one department of my entire company. Yet I was spending the most amount of time, probably 80% of my time in my career and developing myself. I realized I don't have a whole company without the other departments. And in fact, it's a defunct or bankrupt company. So as the CEO of your company, you also want to ensure everything is in place for peak success. Set yourself to win. Instead of focusing on the small things or a small aspect of one department, you want to really be able to do an audit on every department. And many people do fail to see that. They devote their entire life's work into being a workaholic, neglecting all the other important pieces of their life. And I was no stranger to that. They don't view their life in a holistic way as they should. Rather they see it as just one small segment. And how common is it in business, literally every day, where you see, presidents and directors who are exceptional at their work, but what is the life of their company? That becomes the question. How would they run it? What if we apply all the things that a world-class practice, a world-class business does, and rigor and model that into our own lives? Without a question of doubt, I am sure the quality of our lives would soar dramatically. So in applying the concept to my own life, when I first looked introspectively, I realized that while I had certain elements of a good company in place, my life really was not as stable as I thought. Or I wasn't positioned to grow it to my vision that I wanted. There were several areas that were staring back at me that just needed to be addressed right away to ensure if I was going to have the long-term growth and success that I expected out of my life. For example, even though I had defined, my career to a large extent, what my goals should be, not all of it was clear to me. I had some idea of what the culture was, the personality and the values, but it was still a little fuzzy. I realized that I had some blind spots, which maybe I was not so aware of. I realized that even though I may be thriving in my career or doing, pretty good, other areas were being neglected where I didn't put all of my focus and my energy. For example, health was one of them. I was traveling a lot and I was putting off sleep and my nutrition, my diet, my exercise in favor of always building my company, just working 24 hours a day on my company. And, that over time, it's that drip, drip, drip effect that I may not see it now, but I will see the results of that, years later. And that is, you can't reverse that time. So, I just needed to find more balance, more time, and more attention really to my own self, because I was taking care of everything externally, but I just didn't care for myself internally. Process-wise, though I was dreaming big and I had some, big aspirations, I didn't really follow through consistently on the habits that I needed, especially if there were roadblocks or barriers to overcome. I just didn't have the energy to overcome them. So all in all, I was performing very good as an employee doing my work, but as the CEO of my life, I was not living my full purpose, my full impact. So the idea of being CEO of my life really made me think more global, made me think bigger. I made myself, see my life for what it was and not narrow down and compartmentalize to areas like just career or, just motherhood. It made me realize that I just needed to step up to be a real leader and start leading my own life and doing it unapologetically without necessarily the approval of others, without a permission that I always waited for. So just as no one was able to, after my long education of 25 years, no one could take my education away from me. No one could take away my degree. And so was true my experience of my life. No one could take away my internal journey to well-being. No one could take away my experiences. No one could take away that time for myself, the love and the attention that I also needed for myself. As the CEO, I want my company to be the best that it can be, just like I have externally with my practices, because it deserves nothing less. We are so blessed to be alive on this earth, living as the highest, most intelligent form of species. Why wouldn't I expect the very best for myself, to be happy, to be fulfilled, to live with a bigger global purpose? In this short time on this stage of life that we are so fortunate to be granted, it's really a gift to be here, to be alive, to be able to love, to be able to give, to be able to contribute, to grow, to do, to be here just on this podcast. There's so much opportunity. It's truly limitless, the amount of possibilities that can open up once we become aware of it. And this is the same for you. As the CEO, You want your company to soar to, the highest of the highs. You want, as the CEO, you want to have the power to turn your company around, no matter what state it's in. As the CEO, only you have that leadership and that power to lead it to your own success. So now that I've spent some time talking about tip number 1, we're going to go through tip number 2. We've got to take action. Once your vision is firmly established, it's going to guide your actions in a much more meaningful way. If you're going to get anywhere, you've got to take that first step. It could be a baby step, but it's a step. And that's what I want to encourage all of you guys to do. Taking action is not easy. I know. You're going to have to overcome all those limiting beliefs, all that fear, that doubt, that, the possibility of rejection, the possibility of failure, the possibility that you feel like you're not enough. But to successfully execute and be your own CEO of your own life, you must have the ability to feel it, to feel that fear, but do it anyway. It can be simple and straightforward. It just needs to be a step. There's no wrong action at all, as long as it moves you closer to your vision. And that's going to bring a lot more clarity to really what you want. And that's what I want for all of you. If you want to be an artist, take an art class. If you want to start a business, go do some research. Go get a business plan together. If you want to write a book, write that first sentence. It just takes that little step to get you, because once you start building those actionable items, those are going to build the momentum to get you keep going. Just remember, the only way you can ever realize your vision is to take action. And the more you relate your action to your overall vision, the more happy, the more fulfilled you will feel. Now, it could be so easy and so comfortable to stay where you are and not do anything, to take the easy path and put your dreams on hold, but don't hide in the safety of settling. Don't hide in settling for anything less than you deserve. Great things can happen only when you step outside of your comfort zone, and you guys can do it. So tip number 3, audit your life. CEOs have to pay attention to all aspects of their business. It's so important for their success. And being the CEO of your life is no different. You need to evaluate all facets of your life and make changes where necessary. You've got to have the courage and the ability to be able to do that, but it starts with your awareness first. One of the most important factors contributing to your success or failure is the people you surround yourself with. As they say, you become like the top 5 people that you spend the most time with. That rule is absolutely true. So you want to audit your life and make sure that you're around people that are motivating you, that are inspiring you, that are positive, that are making you uplifted, that are bringing you up and not bringing you down. Because there's a lot of those out there and you don't want to fall into that trap. To be successful, you've got to build healthy, inspiring, supportive relationships. What you give to them, they're going to give right back to you. So it is going to be this teamwork, this tribe that you're going to want to build. And your tribe can be outside of your family and friends. You can build your own tribe. We can actually have a safe community right here to encourage each other, to build with each other, to help each other, because this is your safe place. You may not be able to feel comfortable, sharing everything to everyone, but you want to go to, it doesn't have to be a big tribe. It could be a small group of quality people that really want the best for you and that will support you no matter what. And that's so, so, so important. Just remember, life is a team sport. You can't do it alone. And who wants to? At the end of the day, you've had so many people helping you to be where you are today. I would not be where I am today without all the people who've helped and supported me along the way, especially my parents, my husband, my children, my close family and extended family. It's, you can't do this alone. There's just too much at stake in life to do it alone. I know that I'm so grateful for that journey that I take every day, but I also have my tribe that also is very positive and uplifting for me, that keeps me going, that keeps me moving, and encourages me to keep dreaming big. Just remember, building these relationships now is not just a cornerstone to the execution. It's an integral part. It's a foundation of success in all areas of your life. The more you can surround yourself with people who drain your energy or are negative or they foster doubt within you, the less you are called to step up into your true potential. The more you surround yourself with these amazing people, the more you're called to step into your own greatness. And I consciously make a point of spending time with people who challenge me, motivate me, inspire me, and support me, and less time with the people who drain my energy. And there are a lot of them. An organization is only as good as the people within it. And the same is true for your personal life. Other people influence us more than we like to imagine, with their ideas and attitudes and beliefs. They all consciously or subconsciously will affect us. So just be very, very careful. Just as we have a corporate team, surrounding yourself with the wrong people can make the difference between success and failure in a company. So build a personal culture of support, of learning, of authenticity, just as you would do when you create a company culture. So now I ask you, conduct an audit of the people in your life now. And who are you spending the most time with? Are they beneficial to you, or are they detrimental to you? Or are they neutral? Then, optimize your time to spend more of it with the people that are positive influences, and minimize the association with any of those that are negative influences on you or your life. As the CEO of your own life, you have this ability to promote or demote the people you surround yourself with. This one action really has a huge impact on success and has a huge ability to, continually execute on your vision, on your bigger mission. So I encourage all of you, take control of your life and make sure that your actions really reflect and support your overall vision. It's necessary. It's, especially in this fast-paced world, that's distraction-filled, things and people and stuff will steal this away from you. So becoming the CEO of your life will help you create the life that you deserve. And I want nothing more than the best for you. So now we are going to do something fun. We're going to move on to a little game. I call it 50 Shades of Beautiful. Is this a shady tip or a beauty tip? So I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and your job is to tell me, is this a shady tip or a beauty tip? Okay, number 1. Beauty is found externally. Shady tip or beauty tip? Cast your vote. So beauty is found externally is a shady tip. Yes, beauty is found out there, but the most important beauty is to find it first internally, because, a lot of our external environment steals the beauty away and we forget about our internal beauty. So just remember that little tip. Question number 2. Laughter is powerful medicine. Shady tip versus beauty tip. Well, if you said beauty tip, you are right. So one of the things that I like to do with my kids is do a little laughter yoga session. It's probably one of the best practices that you can do. It's so great for your physiology, and it just helps with your endorphins and lowers your stress hormones, and it's fun. And we get to just laugh about silly stuff, and we just do it for like 3 minutes straight. We're literally laughing about anything. See, I'm just thinking about it and I'm starting to laugh. So I would definitely encourage the power of laughter yoga. And, we oftentimes we forget that as adults. I think, kids, they laugh like 10 times more than what adults do. We forgot. So we just have to wake up that inner child in us. Okay, question number 3. Self-care needs to be scheduled on my calendar. Is that a beauty tip or a shady tip? Well, if you said beauty tip, you are correct. We can easily ignore this simple thing. Now, what we write down, we will achieve. Write that down. What you write down, you will achieve. So schedule it. We overestimate what we can do in a week, but we underestimate what we can do in a year, right? So we've got to take care of ourselves along the way. It's so easy to overlook our own personal health, our own time, our own self-care, our own self-love. I didn't even know what that was. Going through my education and residency, I didn't have that time, and I learned that much later in life, and I can't underemphasize the importance of just taking that time to slow down, smell the roses, do the things that you love, even for a half an hour a day, just something to allow yourself some breathing time for yourself. It's so important. Again, where beautiful is internal. So tap into that internal power that we all have. So guys, I am so proud that I was able to start this podcast. And, my inspiration truly was you. I've been thinking about it for some time and just never acted upon my mission, upon my vision until now. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Who is this podcast for? 50 Shades of Beautiful. This is for, I made it for, my patients who would come to see me, who had all sorts of things going on in their lives that are, stress and, how to overcome barriers and issues that they were having. It was really made partly for them to, find some relief from stress. It's also made for my daughter, my little girl, Samaya, who is probably going to be, looking up to role models in the future. And I want to give her pieces of advice. It's for teachings for the younger me, because I didn't have a role model, and it's just tapping into that younger side of me that still lives within me. It's also, my own therapy to be able to do what I do to help others. It makes me feel good. It's the hero or the heroine, in your movie of life. It's creating that hero in you. It's for a global audience, so we can join in global conversations of beauty. It's for the professional woman, to all my moms, to those who want to reclaim their beauty. It's for anyone who wants to be 1% better, just getting better every day. I want to help you achieve this for yourself. So from the bottom of my heart, I hope to be your biggest supporter of creating the most magnificent and the most beautiful you possible. I want to connect with all of you. I genuinely want to help you to just be better. After all, you are your own CEO. I'm here to help you create an extraordinary and unstoppable you. I deeply respect your commitment to learning more, to being more, and to creating more towards your path for exponential growth. I want to cover, the powerful mind, the connecting heart, and the radiant spirit of your most beautiful layer that lives in all of us. I hope to give you an in-depth and rewarding experience that can help you massively enhance your life at all levels. In this rapidly changing world, the only constant we have in life is change. Constant and never-ending improvement is the only way to survive and really live fully. As I speak here during COVID-19, as we navigate this pandemic, this rings true loud and clear, more so than ever. I want you to protect your spirit, yet stimulate your soul, to challenge you to do great things, live life to the fullest, and not just survive, but thrive in your own skin. The main focus is to maximize your impact that you can make in this world by first being the most beautiful version of you that you can be. You will go through this journey, understanding what's real and what's not, what's shade and what's beautiful, what's fact and what's myth. Have teachings and learnings on hand that we'll delve into to really help you make the best choices for your life. This program is the result of my own journey and my own experiences with, all of you through the process of managing myself. I wear 100 different hats every day, like many women do, from CEO to being a doctor to an author to a speaker, medical director, mother, the list just goes on and on, while I'm trying to simultaneously finding the time to be everything else that I am, which is I love traveling. I'm a nature lover. I've, strived to really uncover and find the optimal balance with myself between a fulfilling business and a rich lifestyle that allows me to do the things that are most important to me. What you're going to hear about from me is 2 decades of my focus, modeling the best and consulting with and coaching with unbelievably diverse people, from parents to athletes to CEO to TV personalities, people of almost every religious belief, political conviction, race, creed, nation in the world. This is an opportunity to dig deep and to expand your business of life in just explosive and invigorating ways. By becoming more skilled and adaptable in the CEO of you, you will see opportunities that others may miss. You are going to gain a sense of power and confidence to set you up to win at life. You can unlock and access the resources around you by breaking through limiting beliefs, breaking through your own filters and biases, and discovering breakthroughs within yourself. I am so privileged and so inspired to share the rest of my platform with you all and be part of this exciting new future. We will be able to give and succeed at the highest level in this partnership, this friendship, this tribe that we are creating together. By participating with an extraordinary amount of passion and excitement and joy, we can awaken our true potential and experience all that is possible in life, and awaken our unlimited, our untapped, our unleashed self. This is to help you listen and grow, to help you live creatively, live boldly, and share it with the people that are closest to you. So now we're going to move on to something that I do every day. I perform daily affirmations, and I teach my kids to do the same, especially my daughter, because what you say, your mind will hear, and your mind is always listening to you 24 hours a day. So please practice these affirmations with me. And I would encourage you to do this every day. Look in the mirror and just do this every day, and it will help inspire you to be your very best. And I think it's just so important. And the more you can do this, the more it's going to resonate and become a part of you. So I want you to practice this affirmation with me. So I want you to start by taking your right hand and putting that over your heart. And then gently close your eyes. Imagine that you are speaking to the younger version of you. When you were a child, the younger living parts that are still alive within you, and probably are guiding your behavior today and every day. Take a deep breath and find that inner child. I want you to repeat after me. You're going to say the affirmation out loud, and then smile, and then deep breath in and a slow breath out. Okay? So let's try it. We're going to say the affirmation out loud with a smile. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Now repeat after me. I am beautiful. Deep breath in Deep breath out. I am powerful. Deep breath in and deep breath out. I am love. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I am strong. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I am special. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I am special. Deep breath in, deep breath out slowly. I am enough. Deep breath in, deep breath out slowly. So I hope you're feeling relaxed and feeling more empowered. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. I am Dr. Sonia, your host on 50 Shades of Beautiful. I am so privileged to have you join in our conversations. It has been my honor to be here with you, and thank you for watching. Please watch for our upcoming episodes. One homework I have for you. I want to know, what one step will you take next to be the CEO of your own life? What you write down will become your reality, so I encourage you to declare this today. In fact, I want you to tag me. Tag me on my Instagram at Dr. Sonia MD and at Elite MD Spa. I'd love to know. And if you found this podcast helpful or inspiring, please do us a favor and share this. Share this with someone who would love this too. It helps me, it helps others, and helps so many people. We hope to help thousands more. And don't forget, please subscribe to our channel for more 50 Shades of Beautiful by Dr. Sonia. Stay safe, stay healthy, and always stay beautiful.